Now, do you remember, it would have been 2 months ago, I think, when we spoke to rowers David Murray and Guy Rigby. They left from La Gomera in the Canary Islands on a mission to cross the Atlantic as part of the Talisker Whisky Atlantic Challenge. And they are raising funds for a charity which supports entrepreneurs from marginalised backgrounds. And guess what? They've finished, and we can speak to Guy now. Where are you, Guy?
Well, I'm in Antigua. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. All right for some, isn't it? How are you, first of all, mentally, physically?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a slog. We took 53 days in the end. We've been doing so. We've become the oldest pair ever to row in the ocean, so we've taken that world record. But we experienced some pretty unusual weather conditions, particularly in the last week or two, which have been pretty brutal, to be honest, for everyone in the race. Everyone's still going, at least, in the race. But we made it through, and we came into a fantastically rapturous reception in Nelson's Dockyard, English Harbour, late this morning, around lunchtime.
I've just a mate of mine sent me some photos of you on the finish line with the flares in your hands. I mean, you're looking great, Nick, I've got to say, for what you've been through.
Yeah, I mean, I lost just over 1.5 stone in the process. So they've measured me. They've done the sort of post-race measurements. So that's pretty average, I suppose. About 8 or 9 kilos, I think. But yeah, pretty good shape. I mean, it's a test of your resilience. I mean, David and I both rode something like 325 2-hour shifts. 2 hours on, 2 hours off, constantly throughout the 53 days. So up at night, all that sort of stuff. So it's a big challenge. We had some fairly hairy moments on big wave tops and things like that, with auto harms breaking and stuff like that. But ultimately, somehow or another, it all works out, and you get there in the end.
How did you manage to keep things civil with David when it's just the two of you in the boat and the weather's getting on top? And I mean, did tempers ever get frayed?
Oh, of course. I mean, we had our moments, but ultimately, we knew we had basically there wasn't anyone else on the boat apart from us two, so we had to kind of sort out any differences we had, and we did that really well. David was amazing. He's a very, very strong athlete, so he's the younger of the two of us. So, when I got in a bit of trouble through maybe not quite nourishing myself enough or fueling myself enough, we had a couple of occasions where he stepped in and really, took on a challenge. So it's been amazing, and we've come out of it as firm friends, which is fantastic. I mean, the other thing I'd say is that you barely see each other really, because 2 hours on, 2 hours off means that the other person is in the cabin while one's rowing, one's in the cabin.
Yeah. So one's rowing and one's sleeping, and then you're swapping, and so there's not really much time to sit together and chat.
Exactly. We usually found an hour or two in the daytime when we were kind of, one person was cooking food and maybe cooking food for the other person, so we'd sit and have a chat at that sort of time.
Would you do it again?
Christ. Sorry, that's probably not the right word to say. This for me, I wanted to do I'm 69 in April. I wanted to do a challenge, do something real, give something back. Yeah. I think that's me done. I know David would. Would he do it again or something similar again? I've no doubt at all that he would. I probably would treat this as kind of my big event of my lifetime at this point. I've always liked to do something slightly unusual at different points in my life, and this is the one I've done now. I'm not sure I'm going to go off and climb Everest or anything next week.
Tell me you're not in a great rush to come back here. I mean, Antigua's going to provide a home for a while, is it?
Yeah, I'm here for about 10 days, and I've got various members of my family here. Yes. To be honest, it's hang the expense on the grounds that, you don't go for a world record and row 53 days across the Atlantic every week. So this is a bit of a one-off special occasion, and I just thought if I could get some of my family here, it would be a fantastic thing to do.
How was it to be reunited with them after, 2 months?
That was magic. I mean, the whole reception for us coming in today into Nelson's Dockyard. I think we had. We started outside the harbour with a dive boat who were clapping and cheering, and then we had the Coast Guard who was clapping and cheering, and then we had their media boat for the race. They came in and they were taking pictures, and we set off our flares, and we came in all the way in down through Nelson's Harbour. There were people cheering and playing "We Are the Champions," by Queen and all that sort of stuff, coming from the restaurants, and then we arrived at the final destination. There must have been a crowd of 250 people waiting for us. It was amazing.
That's amazing. I think the whole thing's amazing. And are you any idea how much you've raised?
Yeah, somewhere around 600,000 now.
Brilliant.
Which is a pretty good total. Love it to go up a bit. And we're not closing it down at this stage. Obviously, we're going to keep trying to fundraise for the next month or two. But 600,000 will make a dent in someone's coffers, that's for sure.
So, if you've been moved by what you've heard and you want to show a bit of extra support to Guy Rigby and David Murray, and they are supporting entrepreneurs who bring positive change to communities challenged by a lack of opportunity or discrimination, then you can find their page at crowdfunder.co.uk, crowdfunder.co.uk, or if you just search in Google the Entrepreneurship Atlantic Rowing Challenge, then you'll find it there, and you'll be able to show your support to both of them for the extraordinary achievement that they've pulled off. And go and enjoy the rest of the time with your family now, Guy. Many congratulations.
Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for having me on.
Oh, yeah, it's been nice catching up with you.
Nice,
well done.
Nice, warm and sunny in the UK, yeah.
Yeah. You don't want to be rushing back here, mate. You're missing nothing.
Okie doke. Well, thank
Guy
you very
Rigby,
much.
who is one of the rowers alongside his pal David Murray on the, quite a feat, isn't it? It's an amazing feat to row the Atlantic. So well done to them. And the funds they've raised for social entrepreneurs. Mark Pougatch standing by. We'll get into some big sports stories with Mark after Kevin McGrath, 9:32.
Across the UK, on DAB, online and on your smart speaker. This is Times Radio.
Cheers, Phil. Good evening.